Okay, this particular part of our courses is especially important to me because I really believe many people looking for a job also have a burning desire to own their own business. In fact, it's very rare when I talk to somebody and say, hey, have you ever thought about owning your own business, that they don't say, oh no, I've never thought about owning my own business. I think it's something about American culture and entrepreneurism and pioneers that we all want to start a part-time business or a full-time business. So by the end of this lesson, you'll know how to use everything we've learned so far to start your own business while you're looking for a job. Now, this business might be part-time or full-time. You may take a hobby and turn it into a business. But the best part is you don't need any money at all to get it off the ground and start seeing real results. I'm going to show you how you can use the BetterJob platform that your better job might be owning your own company. The great thing about everything we've learned in these courses is that it extends way beyond just finding a job. We have learned skills and knowledge that can help in all areas of your life. Everything from how to be a likable person to how to find and connect with almost anybody in the world. That goes back to what I think are two of the most important skills a person needs to become to be successful: access and influence. Remember those two words, access, influence. The ability to access anyone and the ability to influence those people and persuade them to your objective is what you want to do. These are timeless skills and will help you not only find future jobs, but excel at your current job and reach your full potential in your career journey. And your career journey may change from time to time. It does for everyone. Remember, statistically, right now people have 10 different jobs in their lifetime. Another interesting thing we have been able to accomplish here, which is an added bonus, is a solution to the number one most important aspect of running any business: customer acquisition. My partner, John Crowley, always says it best. He says, in any business, the priority is sales, finance, and everything else. That's the way I build businesses: sales, finance, mainly to keep track of the sales, and then everything else. Okay, this is really important. Pay attention. No matter what business you are in, the common denominator across any industry is customers. Without customers, you don't have a business. What, Stephen? What's going on, man? You look happy. What's going on?
It's working.
It's working?
Yeah,
okay,
well, helping these people, man.
Okay, thank you, Stephen. It's working. He's paying attention. One of our camera crew guys are finding a better job or maybe starting his own business. So look, I've watched many times people out there who want to start their own business, plus they sit and they try and come up with ideas and products, etc., and they spend all their money developing prototypes, etc., but they never think about the most important thing: who is going to buy the product? That's what I do in companies. When I start a company, if I can't sell the product or service myself successfully over and over again, I'm not going to invest in the company. I'm not going to launch the company. So our platform solves that problem. Think about it. If you can access almost anybody in the world and you know how to influence those people, then that is your ticket towards starting any business, and it's entirely free to you. It's a benefit of this platform. So, what businesses can you start with the BetterJobs platform today? It's really only limited to your own imagination. Remember what I said, everything is right here. The game is right here. But I'm going to walk you through 7 great businesses step by step. These are just ideas we put together to stimulate your own thinking. I'm hoping they stimulate you to think of something very innovative that nobody's thought of before. Number 1, you can start a recruiting business. Number 2, you can outsource sales. Number 3, career coaching. Number 4, capital raising. Number 5, a brokerage for any product or service. Number 6, you can be an expert in a particular area. Number 7, you can outsource labor. I've seen hundreds of students successfully start and scale businesses exactly like this, both full or part-time. Here's how they did it. Number 1, how to start a recruiting business. A recruiter is someone who is paid by a company to find talent to fill certain open roles in that company. Typically, they work on a success-based contract and will receive 20% of the new hire's first-year salary. So, for example, if you find someone to fill a job for a company that pays $100,000 a year annually, you'll get paid $20,000 by the company for finding that person. Imagine if you could do 5 or 10 of those in a year. You're really making some dough. This is an excellent business to get into because as much as our economy may change over the years, there will always be companies looking to hire top talent. This is especially good now because our economy has created a human capital shortage. First time in history of America, we've had more open job tickets than we have unemployed people. Yes, we have a skills gap, but that's where you can build a business. That's a problem you can solve as a recruiter. The most challenging parts of recruiting businesses are these: finding companies that are willing to retain you, pay you to look for people, and obviously finding the right candidates for their open positions. The really successful recruiters work on a 20% commission and no retainer, but sometimes the commissions or the retainers against commissions help get your business off the ground, and they will pay recruiters. Fortunately, the BetterJob platform makes both of these tasks much, much simpler. Use the BetterJob platform to find endless companies to contact. Reach out to companies that have recently raised capital because we know they're hiring, as they will be in a position to hire critical mass of groups of people quickly, and you can help solve that problem for them. Use the same tactics we discussed in earlier lessons to figure out who to reach out to in those companies and how. When you do make contact, be sure to inquire whether they're looking to grow their team and would consider retaining you to bring in the right person. You must be credible. To launch a recruiting business, credibility is key. If you've never done this before, you may need to get your first few clients at a discount or free to build up some references. I just helped a single mom with a Down syndrome daughter launch her recruiting business. She made $8,000 in the first 5 days, more than she made in the previous 4 months. And now she's on her way to make $200,000 a year. And she did it with this platform. Another strategy is to ask a friend or someone you know to be an advisor to your company and to put them on your website. This will help your company appear bigger and therefore more credible, but make sure it's true. Make sure that person is really helping you. Remember, the key to this business is to find companies that are willing to pay you a commission to find them talent ASAP. They need people. Number 2, how to start an outsourced sales business. Every business needs sales. Nobody can have enough sales. Outsourced sales are one of my favorite types of businesses because they can take off quickly and are very hard for potential customers to resist. In this business model, businesses pay you to make them introductions to prospective customers. Again, you'll use the BetterJob database to find the right clients for yourself and then connect them yourself. The key here is in the business proposal. You want to make sure you work with businesses that sell products or services for more than $10,000 to make it worth your time. Approach them and say, I specialize in bringing you more customers plus penetrating large organizations on your behalf. Tell them that you operate on a success fee only, meaning you get a fixed dollar amount per arranged meeting you land on their behalf with genuinely interested prospective clients, and a percentage on the back end if the deal goes through, usually 3 to 5%. For example, say you want to approach a software company that sells cybersecurity systems for $100,000 a year. You might lay out the following deal. I can get you meetings with companies that will be interested in your software. You'll pay me a flat rate of $500 for every phone call or meeting I get you, plus a 5% commission if the sale goes through annually for the next 3 years. It would be very hard for a company to turn that down since there's not much to lose. $500 is well worth the money, and they only have to pay you on the backside if they close the deal, making hundreds of thousands of dollars on your work. You might want to sweeten the offer by saying, I've prepared a list of target companies that I know I can get you a meeting with now. That'll show them that you know their business and that you can land the kind of deals they're looking for. When you land an outsourced sales gig, you want to put together a list of targeted customers and present them to the client company. And you don't want to do too much upfront before you have the deal, but you might have to show them some to get the deal done and get hired. Get their approval, make sure they approve them, because now they've approved them, and when you reach out to them directly, be sure they aren't any current customers on the list. Make sure you're not showing them customers they already have. So they approve the list, now they're willing to pay you $500 to get in the door. After that, you can reach out to the prospective clients using your own email and introduce yourself as a senior advisor to your client company. If you can make 3 introductions a month and one converts, you could potentially be pulling in $100,000 in commissions paid out to you over time. Imagine if you had 4 or 5 clients at the same time. You can add extra income quickly, and you can do this on nights and weekends until you're rolling full time. Number 3, how to start a career coaching business. The proof of concept is this course that you've been watching right now. Just like how you have found the BetterJob course and platform to help you find your dream job, there are tons of very smart people out there who want guidance on improving their personal lives. Right now, there are about 160 million workers in the U.S. labor force, and people are changing jobs continuously, which means that there's a massive market for career coaching services. By taking the BetterJob's courses and learning everything we've shared with you here today, you can turn around and help use that same knowledge, the same technology, to help other people. Don't worry, it's not plagiarism or copying. I'm encouraging you to do so. Use our platform to build your career coaching business. You can pass on all the knowledge through paid consultations, or you could build a business around reselling the BetterJob platform and taking a cut of each sale. We just put somebody in business that is selling this platform to senior executives and taking a commission. It's working great for everybody. If this is something you'd be interested in checking out, then please send me an email to mkc@mclifford.com. That's my personal email. It's confidential. I'm not going to spill the beans if you're looking at a job around your job. In the past, I've seen a bunch of people take this course and then set up their own similar companies like the lady we just helped. There are a few other models around career coaching at work. You can charge an hourly rate. You can charge fixed rates for polished resumes or LinkedIn pages, or a one-time fee to be trained on how to find a job and use the platform. As with any business, the key is customers. How do you find customers? Again, you want to turn back to the BetterJob platform to get in touch with prospects and start spreading the word about what you do. Reflect on the strategies we've discussed regarding finding commonalities with people. Here are some people you could talk to: alumni from your school, old co-workers that you used to work with. Post a message on LinkedIn. Ask friends for referrals. Whatever you need to do to spread the word. Career counseling is a great business in general because it can be extremely rewarding to help people find a job that truly makes them happy. It's wonderful to see how genuinely grateful people are for your help when you can make a difference. A great strategy here is to pick a niche or a vertical and become a career coaching expert for that group of people specifically. For example, some specialties could be recent college graduates. That's a big market. A specific industry like helping lawyers find jobs or people in software. Or a specific category or geographic area like your city or your state. The possibilities are endless. The better you become in a specific niche, and make sure that niche is big enough for you to become an expert, the possibilities are endless. Number 4, here's another company: how to start a capital raising business. There are very few people I talk to when I say, hey, do you need some money for your business, that they say, oh no, we're all covered. Capital raising is another fantastic business to be in because there will always be companies out there looking to raise money and expand their business. And by the way, it takes the same amount of effort to raise $100,000 as it does to raise $100 million. Just think about all the popular shows on TV today like Shark Tank and The Profit. There are hundreds of thousands of businesses dying to find out the right partner, to find the infusion of capital, to find a strategic investor with capital and customers, to elevate themselves to the next level. If you can help them find investors or strategic partners, they will gladly pay you for it, and they'll pay you a lot. If you've ever wondered why investment bankers make so much money, this is why. In a typical capital raise, it is the industry standard to charge an 8% success fee on any capital raised, assuming it's a $10 million or less raise. For example, if you help a business raise $5 million, you will receive a commission check of $400,000. Now, when you see a company raising hundreds of millions of dollars or billions of dollars, the percentages taken by the investment banker is smaller, but still life-changing. For example, even if they only get 1 or 2% of a $100 million deal, you're still talking about taking home millions and millions of dollars. To clarify, The person who raises the capital for a business or helps a business to sell itself is called an investment banker or an investment broker. Typically, for deals under $10 million, you're called a business broker. So how can you set up a business like this? As a business broker, you are essentially the middleman connecting people and helping facilitate the transaction. You will find businesses that need money and then find people who want to invest in them. You can find both through using the BetterJob database. So your better job might be creating your own business. To get started, look for companies that have fewer than 100 employees and reach out to ask if they're looking to raise capital now or in the near future. If they say yes, sign a contract and then use the BetterJob platform to find venture capital firms, private equity firms, and wealthy family offices that are all looking for what we call deal flow. They have money they have to put to work and they can't find enough deals, and there's a lot of competition for deals, thus that's your niche. Email the ones who fit your profile and ask them if they're interested in investing with your client. Another option is to reach out to companies that are similar to your client and ask if they want to invest. Many times, competitors are very interested in investing in their competition. These companies are referred to as strategic investors. In fact, there was a point when Apple was going to close its doors and Bill Gates made an investment that kept the company alive. It was a strategic investment, and it also helped him in many regulatory areas. Realistically, if you've never done this before, you will likely need to do your first few clients for a very reduced fee to help build credibility and a reputation. But once you get the first few deals through the door, your business will take off. How do you email investors? Very simply, you reach out to investors just like you'd reach out to somebody about a potential job. You can use the same framework from our lesson on writing emails, but in a section where you explain why you're reaching out, say something like, I'm working for company XYZ to raise money and create partnerships. Here's what they do. Would you be interested in investing in this opportunity? If so, let's arrange a phone call or I can send you over their investor presentation. Most companies will already have an investor presentation or will make it themselves. Like landing your job, raising money is a numbers game. Again, it's all sales. You will likely need to reach out to hundreds, if not thousands, of potential investors in order to find the right one. But the rewards are more than worth it. There is one very annoying catch to this type of business: regulations. It is heavily regulated. In fact, unless you are registered with FINRA, F-I-N-R-A, as a broker-dealer, or are affiliated with one and have the proper government licenses, you cannot accept a performance-based fee for raising capital for a company. To avoid this problem, your first option is to join a firm that will sponsor you. These are called broker-dealers, and you can find hundreds of them online, and they're really hungry to get somebody that can bring business through the regulatory process so you're completely legal. Another option is to structure a non-performance-based arrangement with your client company. For example, they may agree to pay you X amount to help them raise capital, whether you're successful or not. My recommendation is to find out your first few clients and work with them on a retainer of about $2,000 or $3,000 a month. Find somebody that's willing to gamble $2,000 or $3,000 a month for 6 months to invest in you and invest in themselves to find investors. It's not that hard to do. If you have success with a few of these, then you can look to joining a broker-dealer and going through the regulatory process. It's not that hard to get the licenses. It takes a little bit of work, like 2 or 3 weeks online, and pass the tests. And then you can go for the bigger commissions and bigger deals. If you need more guidance, feel free to reach out to me, and I can recommend some broker-dealers. There's one I love called Chalice. Check out Chalice Financial, and there are lots of others, but reach out to me and I can help you with it. Overall, capital raising is great business to get into because there will always be a demand, and at its core, it's simply matchmaking. It doesn't cost you any money to get started, and you could be up and running tomorrow. Number 5, how to start a business brokerage referral business. By now, you've probably noticed that almost all of these businesses are based on making connections for people by leveraging the BetterJob platform. Yet another example of this is the niche business of brokerage referrals. There are many companies and investors out there, mostly private equity firms and investment banks, that are willing to pay you huge commissions for finding them profitable companies to purchase or to sell. Private equity firms are companies that raise capital from investors and then invest that money into other businesses by buying them. Their goal is to help that business accelerate growth with capital so they can sell and make a bigger profit. It is extremely competitive, and private equity firms will pay massive commissions to people who help them find businesses to buy. These types of businesses they want are the ones that have at least $1 million with profit, or really what we call EBITDA. It's a very competitive business, and private equity firms pay large commissions if you can help them find a business to buy. These businesses have to have at least $1 million in EBIT or profit, but the bigger the better. How do you find companies looking to sell? Once again, you'll turn to the BetterJob platform and make inquiries into whether a company is interested in selling themselves in the future. If they are, you want to get in on the phone with the owner as quickly as possible and get the lay of the land and understand if they have other investors or what they're looking for. You want to find a company that doesn't already have private equity investors, because they're not going to deal with you, and makes at least $1 million of profit or EBITDA per year. How do you find private equity firms? Browse using the private equity filter in the BetterJob database and look to see if the company you're representing fits their investment criteria. Private equity firms will list the kinds of companies they're looking for. Once you've found a solid match, reach out to the right person at the private equity firm to inquire whether they might be interested in your contact company, period. But before you do that, make sure you have a non-disclosure agreement signed with the company, which includes non-circumvention language. In other words, if you're going to introduce these two people, you want to have an agreement signed that they won't cut you out of the deal. It's extremely important that you don't reveal the name of the company you're representing or enough information that the private equity firm could just go behind your back and deal directly, because they will. If they express their interest before you make the introduction, be sure you sign a referral agreement or a non-circumvention agreement. I prefer the referral agreement at this stage of the process. The industry standard referral for these types of deals follows what is known as the Lehman fee structure, which basically is a success-based only and works out to a flat fee of $100,000 plus 1% of the deal value. For example, if you find a private equity company that ultimately buys a company for $10 million, your fee would be $200,000. I happen to know a guy who just referred a deal with a business sold for $100 million, and he received a check for more than $1 million as a thank you with no contract with the private equity firm. They were so happy to get the deal, and they wanted him to bring another one. The only work he had to do was make the introduction at an expensive lunch. Now, just caution you, these deals are difficult. You will probably have to find a few dozen companies and make several referrals before one hits. But that's true of all sales. You got to do 20 or 30 contacts to close a deal. But even if one success can be an enormous payout, it's worth the time. Here's another business, how to become an expert or interview experts. Another great business is to start utilizing the BetterJob platform has to do with selling knowledge. Knowledge is valuable. In today's business world, even the slightest edge can make all the difference, and people are hungry to gain that edge, especially on Wall Street, especially with investors and CEOs. They're looking for every edge they can get. So you can package up your own expertise plus sell it to people who value it. You can either sell your own knowledge of a specific industry or interview other industry experts to create the content you're going to sell. For example, you may interview the best 15 financial advisors who you can get a hold of using the BetterJob platform, and then pick their brains about how they were able to grow their businesses. You might ask questions like, what are their secrets to getting new customers? How do you keep your current customers happy? What do they wish they had known earlier in their career? You get the feeling. There are tons of questions you can ask to collect extremely valuable information. Why would these people tell this to you? That's the big question. And the truth is, if you approach people the right way, they typically like to help you. That's our human nature. Plus, people also like free publicity when you mention their names, usually. You have to ask their permission. And you could give them a share of the revenue from your sales if you want to. In other words, you're helping me create this content. When I sell it, I'll give you a piece of it. And of course, if you find someone who doesn't want to be interviewed, just keep looking using our platform until you find some people that are all out there, and you can build a really powerful expert network of knowledge that you can sell. So once you found your experts, you can collect and package their knowledge in a few different ways. For example, you could write a book, you could create a set of instructional videos, or you could hold a seminar, or you could do a podcast. I'd recommend creating a set of instructional videos and selling access. This requires